Howdy, Possum Patty here. And I just thought for an intro, I would use some old pictures I had of when we went out west and we were in the desert and sand and, all the formations that are out west. I just love that area. Utah and Arizona, and of course we went to the Grand Canyon and Mount Zion and Bryce Canyon and Valley of Fire. It's very interesting rocks out there too. And there is a lot of sandstone, a lot of sand and a lot of sandstone out west. Well, I have this big pile of junk sitting on my desk right now, and I intend to use all of it in some journals. I hate to put things away because, you put them away, they just don't get used. I don't know. Anyway, I found this in one of my magazines, and I love the picture of this cactus. Is this a prickly pear? Looks like a prickly pear, one of those sorts of cactus, and I love it. And of course, cactus reminds me of the desert, and this desert of sand, right? It's sand. So keep that in mind for a moment. And I am collecting rocks that I find out on the dirt road that is right there in front of the house. And I had collected like three of these boxes. Sorry about that glare there. Of stones. Now, some are sort of the same kind of stone, but maybe a different color, a different shape, or a different pattern. I was looking at the patterns of the stones too. I've got three of these going. And then I have another one that I'm going to put friendship rocks in, because Rachel down in Kentucky sent me some rocks. So I bought a couple more of these containers. And I'm going to put rocks that people send me in here. Not that I expect anybody to send me a rock, but if you do want to send me a rock, I'll journal about it and put it in my friendship rock collection. And I'll probably, when I go different places around Connecticut or other places and collect some rocks, I'll probably put them in there too. So those will be like my rocks from other places that people send me or that I collect. Anyway, real quick. This is my dirt road diary, and a lot of people know about this already. Dirt road diary. All rocks are stardust. Look at that. Okay, so I don't date the pages. This is just day 1, day 2, day 3. So I've already collected a lot of rocks. So as I learn about each one, I just give it a day number, okay? And this was not a rock, it was concrete. So I have rocks and not rocks in here. And these pages are just super fun. Some scientific facts, some metaphysical facts there. So in this container, there are 3 different categories of rocks, I believe. I'm trying real hard to get these correct. And one of them is sandstone. Now, I know from doing research that a lot of the rocks out there are igneous and metamorphic. But I didn't think I would find a lot of sandstone out there just because of what the rock formations in this area are. So I don't know where these came from. I thought the local quarries were mostly igneous and metamorphic, but who knows, okay? So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I know, I have a bunch of them, half a dozen or more, that my rock identifier app claims are sandstone. So I thought I would do a fun picture with a desert and this cactus and a picture of my sandstone rock. So, we can go over to the other camera and I can show those to you closer up. Come on along. So this very first row are what my identifier calls the sandstones. And this one, when I picked it up, I said, oh, this is sandstone. And let me show you why. Because it is soft And when you scrape it, you get sand. So sandstone is a sedimentary rock, which means it is made up of tiny bits of other pieces of rock. And a lot of times you can see that it forms in layers. You can see like a gray layer and a beige layer and a gray layer there. So I was pretty sure when I picked this up, and very surprised, like I said, when I found this, because it just didn't go with all the other rocks that were on the road. And I said, oh, that's sandstone. But then I found these other rocks, and I wasn't sure about them, but the rock identifier identified all of these in the first row as sandstone. Now, how could so many different kinds of rocks be called sandstone? So I'm not really sure about all of these. These I might take a second look at. But these may be all sandstones. So they're different colors because there's different color sands. And what's holding all that, what's gluing all that sand together can be different in different rocks. So if it's reddish, the little bits of sand might be glued together with some sort of iron, ferrous oxide in there. So I guess there are, and I'm learning more about this, some very special sandstone deposits in Connecticut. And it's an excellent building material, especially this reddish stuff, I guess, because of the iron in there. And this one might have feldspar in it too, because it's pink. But apparently these special sandstones that are in Connecticut were used as building material, and just about all of what's known as the famous brownstone buildings in New York City were built with this Connecticut sandstone. Now there's a couple of places I can find this, and I've been looking that up. So instead of working on my journal page, I've been over there on my computer learning about sandstones in Connecticut. And yeah, so I guess there are very special sandstones in Connecticut, which is new to me, and that they were used to build brownstones in New York City. Wow. So this sand in Connecticut, well, sand is just weathered rock, bits of rock that have worn down with wind and rain. And they collect where there's rivers and where delta areas. And, we had a glacier in Connecticut that covered the whole state and then retreated. And as glaciers move, they kind of scrape everything and pick everything up. And then when they melt, they dump that all. All right, let me just move all this sandstone aside for a moment. My fave is this red one. It's just smooth. It's just really cool. And the pink one. Really, really cool. Of course, the one where you could actually scrape the sand off. This reminds me the most of the ones that we saw out west that are in the beginning, the intro, that are in the intro. Okay. Now, I have this cactus, and I have a big mess on the desk. I just move things around, don't I? Move them, move them, move them. All right. Here are my things to cut out in collage book. And there are lots of buildings, but none of them look like brownstones. But in the back of the book was a desert, so I ripped that out. And I'm thinking this could be like a background. But I do have this that I want to use. So if this is the background, this could be the foreground, right? I can cut this out and make maybe a side tuck here, and then a journaling card with a picture of the sandstones on it. My favorite ones anyway. So when I learned about sandstones, I thought all sandstone was that kind I showed you first, where, you know, you can scrape it with a nail and it just kind of comes off. But then I learned that there's some really hard sandstone, and that, you know, it's used in buildings and all kinds of construction. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. So that's why I didn't think any of, oh, it just doesn't want to fit in there. That's why I didn't think these hard ones were sandstone, but they are. Okay, that's not going to fit in my cutter, so I'm gonna have to cut this side first. All right, I like it, and I'm gonna glue it down. All right, this is glued down as best as I can do it. I just used a glue stick. And so I need to cut this. Maybe you want to cut that background out. See how this goes. And then glue it down to a paper. Now that orange paper is a paper I was using in my other journal. So it is on the desk. And you know, I tend to use what's right in front of me. And that's why I like to have a big pile of stuff in front of me, because I know it will get used. These cactuses are pretty hardy. We had some growing by a big rock on our farm in Pennsylvania. I planted them there. And then Mr. Possum made a cocopelli out of wood, and I painted it. He attached it to a rod in a way that the wind would blow it. It would like dance around. It was a lot of fun. I think I'll glue the cactus down with my glue stick and then decide how to cut it for a pocket / tuck. So I can just fit this on perfectly on this pre-cut piece of paper. And I do love these colors. They remind me of when we were out west. And now, I know I got rocks everywhere. Like there's not enough on the table, right? I've got to have rocks here too. I might just freeform this. I don't know if I like that. It's not how I pictured it. I got a bit of this paper left over, so maybe I can make the journaling card out of that. This book is just a mishmash, a mishmash of whatever I have around, you know, that's sitting around here. And the whole idea is just to use what is within reach, and you know, I'm never going to buy anything specifically for this journal, because this is a learning journal and just trashy fun, collecting my rocks, learning about them, putting it all into this in a fun way. So, you know, it really doesn't matter what it looks like. As long as it looks fun. It's got to look fun. So I'm make a journaling card out of that other paper, and I'm thinking maybe I'll print out a picture of a brownstone and put that either on the page or on the journaling card. Now I hope this sticks. I had some problems with this, with the magazine pages last night. The pocket pulled away and pulled the actual ink off the magazine page. I was using a National Geographic magazine, and I had to re-stick the pocket down with some double-sided tape. I hope that stays. Interesting, if nothing else, interesting. So I can slice that across there. I would love to put just like a brownstone building, like just peeking up out of this pocket. Let me see what I can find. While I was waiting for the printer to print out the brownstone, I started cutting out more cactuses. Because there's a whole page of them here. This one looks like a prickly pear here. But some of them are orange, like this one. And this one down here. So I thought it'd be cool to add some color there. And I think this one's really fun too. I want to put it on here maybe so that when I put the card in like that, you can see it like that. Maybe another one on that side, I don't know. All right, let's see what I can do with the brownstone. These brownstones in New York are really lovely. I think if I was to live in New York City, I'd want to live in a brownstone. They're like townhouse condos. They're made out of this brownstone. And just having this pop up out of the pocket. And that down there. Now that's not going to... I'm covering up that cactus, but that's okay. The whole background, when you put, well, you're not going to be able to pull this out. This is just going to be glued in there. Or I could make, I could make this brownstone the journaling card. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my original idea here and glue this right down to the page. Right there. And I'll probably maybe put the title vertically there. And then stick with my, I have that on the orange, no, I think I had it this way, journaling card here. And I may cut out more cactuses. All right, first things first. Well, maybe I'll glue this down before it gets lost. Because this will be an easy peasy lemon squeezy with glue stick. So if you're wondering about the metaphysical attributes of the sandstone, I looked that up, and you can use it during meditation to help avoid distractions. And you can put some red sandstone in your house. Now here's a house that's completely made out of red sandstone. To help balance emotions. I thought that was pretty cool. Must be horrifying to watch me glue things down. Yeah, after all these years of watching the glue masters at work, I still make a mess of everything I touch. Yes, I do. I got glue on that. I got glue on everything. All right, get down. I'll just let that glue dry, that's all. Some pretty amazing sandstone out west, that is for sure. All right, so I want to measure to see where I want to put that other cactus, which I think got put back here for some reason. I think I just put it there. Right there. And then I have to think about my journaling for the other side. Oh, and I gotta print out a picture of the rocks. Oh, I haven't even taken a picture of the rocks yet. Okay. Am I getting to the end of another glue already? All right, so let me go print out a picture and do my journaling. I know I'm jumping all around here, but right now I am cutting out letters for the word sandstone. And I think I bought these at the flea market. And I just want to see if it'll fit. I want to write day 14. And then I said I wanted to put the title up the side like this. So let's see how that looks. Now, do these need extra glue? Will they stick? I don't know. I don't know. Well, they look skinny when they're off the their backing there. Put them crooked. So much less stress if you just go crooked. Because it's going to go crooked anyway, and I'm not going to get out a ruler and draw a line. Do anything like that. All right, now I need another S. I hope I have another S. I like this set. It's got a lot of letters. I didn't buy it at the store, so I don't know where it came from. I'm just hoping they got good glue. Wow, I guess I could have moved that way up. Oh, maybe I could put day then. Oh. There's an idea. Sandstony. Sandstony. Now, let's see. D-A-Y, day 14. Uh-oh, I used all the ones on something. Well, maybe I can make a 1 out of a 7 or an I. Let's use an I. Okay, I hope these stick to the page. I was doing that while the pictures were printing out. So I gotta go back to the journaling card, and I did print out one of those pictures of sandstone that we saw. And I like this one because it reminds me of a spaceship. A spaceship. Wow, this one printed out pretty orange. I'm going to put that over there and clean some of this stuff up. And then come back and show you my journaling card. Well, I think I've got this page all together now with the desert background, the New York brownstone. I've got sandstone day 14 with sticker letters. I've got my original cactus there that reminded me of the desert and sand and out west where we visited. I've got an extra cactus I cut out. I didn't put this stuff away. Cut out there because it's orange, and I have the orange background there, and orange over here, and another cactus, and the picture of the sandstone with the part that looks like a spaceship. I got my picture of my collection there, and my journaling. When I think of sandstone, I think of our trip out west and Zion and Bryce Canyon and hoodoos. Hoodoos are these like weird structures, like tall standing stones. Very strange formations. It's like the land all around them eroded away and it just left them standing there. But I found several sandstones out on the dirt road, and it surprised me. Most of the rocks that I had found so far were either igneous or metamorphic, and here were sedimentary stones. And the special sandstones from Connecticut were used to build the famous brownstones in New York City. Red sandstones are great for balancing emotions. And I did this with a gel pen, so I was kind of waiting for that to dry. So I'm just going to say thanks for coming along today, and I hope you are journaling your passion, no matter what it may be. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.